Robinson Show, we are back with Crumb from Getting Casual with Crumb.
Greetings, Robin Slim. How you doing?
Great. How are
Great, man.
you, Crumb? The voice that gets him moist.
And the bard that gets him hard.
Yes. How have you been, dude? We had you on. Was it last season, I believe? And you've also done a few projects with us. We've had a lot of fun.
I have had a lot of fun being a part of those projects. Thank you so much for thinking of me to do the voice acting. I'm always looking to do more.
Dude, love it.
And
Love it.
I went through a little bit of a rebrand.
With your show.
Yeah. So
That's cool.
when I was on last time, I was Casual Sex with Crumb.
Yes.
Which I found out gave the wrong impression to folks.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? Let's back it off and let's see if gettingcasual.com is taken. And it wasn't, so it's mine now, and it just makes everything flow a little better.
Okay, because that's what I think I mentioned earlier in the show, like Casual Sex with Crumb, but just I think introducing you, I saw that you are Getting Casual now.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Cool. And I see that you've been doing a lot of interviews lately. Is that a newer thing?
It is very much a newer thing. I have a marketing coach behind the scenes, and she is very active in the adult community. Her name is Amberly Rothfield. And she was like, look, everybody who knows you likes you, so start talking to people. So I started reaching out to individuals and PR companies, and it's been going very well. I've got a lot of positive response. And it's not just the famous folks. Like, I just had a woman who's been in the industry for only a month on the show. So I really like to vary it up and give the newer folks a chance to shine and a chance to grow as well.
Yes, I love that. I also love, too, you messaged me just in regular messaging that I inspired you to use a notebook.
Yes, sir, you did. I'm actually using it right now for the topic that you guys wanted me to bring up today for this devilish night.
Yes.
And, I'm still stuck on Google Calendar because I have like the entire ecosystem there, but the notebook right in front of you makes a world of difference.
Right? That's like every now and then someone will still like talk a little trash on whatever, like, oh, you guys have the internet at your, you have a laptop, but you also have a notebook. Yeah, it's totally different. It's totally different to like see something in a notebook that you highlighted.
Well, it's really easy in like Google Calendar or whichever calendar app you use to like move an appointment around. It's like, I feel like procrastinating today, so it's just drag and drop. But if you go back in your notebook and you didn't physically write it in the new date, then you feel like shit about yourself.
Yes, that's happened too. Trust me, I feel like shit about myself a lot. Trust me. It's happened more than less, but I also will I'll be like, okay, I have this open, so would you come on this date? So yeah, it's happened. It's happened to the best
I'll
of us.
come on any date. You don't have to,
I also feel, Rob, with having your notebook is it's just easier for you to take, because a lot of times I'll see you write things down in the middle of an interview.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier to just jot it down on a notebook than having to open up your notepad app or whatever it is and like type it in. Like Rob just seems like he's more focused and he doesn't have to stop thinking about the interview when he jots something down real quick.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely. And the other thing is I have a mechanical keyboard. My wife is a gamer. I am too, but I'm on console. My wife is a gamer. She likes the keyboard and mouse. This thing is loud as shit. So if you're trying to do something discreetly, that's not happening.
Clanking. Yeah.
I had an old roommate, Sleepy Lucas.
Yeah.
He did bits for us a little bit, but he had a mechanical keyboard, and he would be on that fucking keyboard when we were doing the show, and you would just hear it the entire time.
I would throw shit at his door. I think I threw a mannequin head. I threw all sorts of shit at his door to have him like stop typing so loudly.
I think I threw a cup of marinara sauce at him once at the door.
That's just a waste of good tomato sauce.
He was a waste of a person, Crumb.
Oh, shit.
We were the best thing that ever happened to him. And he walked out. He walked out, Crumb. He did not appreciate it.
That's just terrible and not understanding the kind of good folks that you guys are. So his loss, totally.
Yes. Totes my lotes, dog. What are you doing for Halloween, Crumb?
So for Halloween, I actually am being both a sad parent and a happy drunk.
All right.
That goes hand in hand. Goes hand in hand. I don't know. I sometimes I feel like I'm a more of a happy parent than a sad drunk.
Well, no, I am a happy parent, but my daughter's 10 and she's going on her first date.
Oh,
which
yes. I have boys.
It's-
I have boys. It's thank God I don't have a daughter. God damn.
But that's the thing. I really like the little guy, and his mom was like, "Look, we'll be walking with them, but not together with them." If you know what I mean.
Yes.
He just really wants to go with your daughter, so please, 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 can they go together? It'll be during the light time hours right after school, and this kid, in all honesty, for a 10-year-old kid, he's a complete gentleman. So I can't really say anything bad about it. So at the same time, we already decorated our garage. Crises, my wife and I, we're going to get all dressed up, and we're going to have some beers, and we're going to hand out candy to the kids and shots for the adults until I get too drunk, and then I do that in reverse.
And you guys are in Canada, right, Crumb?
We are indeed in Canada. It is freezing rain as we speak.
That's what I was going to ask. I was going to ask how it is because it's kind of warm. I'm wearing shorts today. Like today,
We're
it's
running
all
the air
over
conditioner
place.
today.
Yeah, like a week ago, I had like 3 jackets on and I'm freezing. But yeah, it's especially where we are. It's like South Jersey, so it's always damp because it's like on the shore. And like one day it could be 80 degrees, one day it could be like 20 degrees. It's insane. It's insane.
With South Jersey, did you guys get over to Exotica, being that it was right there in Edison?
No.
No, I had a friend that did go that wanted me to go with him, and I think it just didn't work out for what my schedule was and everything.
Okay.
God,
Yeah,
that's bucket list for me. Exotica, absolutely.
Is that one of the big conventions?
That is probably the biggest, and I might take some flack for that. It's one of the biggest for sure. Conventions. It's like a 3-day weekend. The Inked Awards are there, and it's just a really good time for fans to get there and actually interact with the people that they normally jack off to.
Jack off. Extra spank bank material.
Oh, it's true. And you know what? Depending on the personalities that are, like, I've seen people, it's like, yeah, grab your favorite porn star's tits. No problem. We'll take a picture. And I was like, all right, that might be. So if I get a booth there, you might be able to grab my junk, depending on the price.
I was going to ask for a little man boob.
Oh, well, yeah. I need to lose some weight, so you can have all the man boob you want.
They usually have that, is it in like the Atlantic City Convention Center, I think? I know it's like close by.
Forgive me, I don't honestly know. I know it's in
look it up.
with the Sheraton Hotel in Edison. Yeah, I honestly don't know.
Okay. Cool. And I was shocked to hear, Crumb, on your most recent show, you said you've never had a pumpkin spice coffee.
I have never been interested in a pumpkin spice coffee.
Try
I really
one.
never have.
Try one. It's good.
Okay, so we went out last week when the kid was gone. She's at my ex's, and we had a pumpkin spice beer. Now, gentlemen, IPAs are not my favorite, and my wife absolutely hates them, but this was a 10% strong, made with real pumpkin rind IPA. And it was the best thing I've ever had. So I might be convinced into trying a coffee, but that strong beer is where it's at for me.
Yeah.
I don't know, the coffee, though, like, I can't drink it. Like, I remember a couple years ago, I tried drinking it all the time, and it tore my stomach up. So it's like every now and then, it's a good treat. But
Yeah, maybe once a week.
yeah, I agree. What did you have planned for us, Crumb? I asked you, I think, to come up with sexual horror stories.
Sexual horror stories. So I've got Rob asked me for a top 5. I'm going to do a top 6, only because 6 is an honorable mention, because it should actually still be number 1. So honorable mention, the worst sexual injury you can possibly get is death.
Oh.
If you've heard of the term mind-blowing sex, I'm sure you gentlemen have given it to many partners over the years. You can actually blow someone's mind during sex and cause aneurysm, stroke, death. I want to focus on the injuries that keep you alive and suffering. So honorable mention, death. That's technically number 1, but number 6 now.
Yeah, that is. Wow. Death during sex it's the best way to go out, I want to say.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not even from repeated sex. It's like, this is during the act, because you're focusing so hard on one thing. that your body sometimes forgets, and it usually happens to older folks, but
Yeah.
you never know what's going on inside your internal organs. So yeah, we're going to start there. And then we're going to get into some kinky stuff with number 5. Have you guys ever tried candle play?
I haven't, but it's like wax dripping on you, right?
That's right, yeah. So what do you do if you run out of those candles? Well, the logical person goes out and buys more, right? Not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
The illogical person goes into the fridge and picks out something that they think they can melt in the microwave and then pours it on them. So this is coming from my absolute favorite show on sex injuries. It's called Sex Sent Me to the ER. It's no longer on the air, but this is where my source is for this particular one, and I highly recommend you checking it out. This couple ran out of the candles. They somehow, for some reason, had a 5-pound gummy bear in the fridge, and they recreated it for the show. It was massive. It was like 1.5 feet tall.
I've seen them for sale.
Okay, we don't have that in Canada, so this is like, that was freaked me out. But so they were like, oh, you know what? This should work. So they microwaved it and had 5 pounds of whatever the hell gummy bear is made of in basically a liquid form. Yeah. Well, don't they go pour it on her tits? Now, the thing is, candles and wax have a very low sort of melting point. So it really can't burn you unless you use like the regular candles that you would use in emergency. Most of the wax candles that you play with are soy-based. They're very low. They can't really burn you. Sugar, which is what gummy bears are made out of, fucking hurts. This young lady went to the ER with 2nd-degree burns all over her chest.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Holy shit.
And then the worst part, and I have no idea who gave them this advice, like they went on WebMD or like the cheap knockoff version of WebMD, and it said, well, put coconut oil on it. Well, now you have this burn that has coconut oil, which is a protective barrier, which doesn't allow air in. So she actually turned what would have been a 3rd-degree burn, so that's lesser effective if I'm not mistaken. I'm terrible with medicine.
Yeah.
But she turned a lesser burn into a greater burn just by covering it up.
Yeah, it's trapping the heat.
That's
right?
like, I remember when I was a kid, like parents would say in the 50s they would put butter on a burn, and that was the same effect.
Now, I wonder in the 50s, was that just to toughen people up? Like, I don't know.
Probably was. You need to get tougher.
Well, let's see if you can handle number 4 then. This is for all the penis owners in the audience.
Got one.
Now, originally, I was just going to call it penile breakage.
Yeah,
and this is what happens where you thrust and you miss. We've all heard of this this thing happens. It's fairly common. A lot of the times when you do it, it just really hurts like a mother, but you can actually break the tubes that are bringing the blood both to and from, and it can turn into some pretty funky looking stuff. But what I want to talk about, and I don't know the medical term, unfortunately, is something called penile folding. This is where we've all done this as guys or as penis owners. Have you ever started masturbating or started having sex before you were at full mast?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
My advice right now is to stop it. This comes from a British documentary. What can happen if you do that repeatedly over your lifetime? And I mean a fair amount, but this person who I researched was admittedly a pretty big sex addict, so he was doing it regularly. But the result is that those tubes that I mentioned with the breaking will actually bend and stay that way. So when he gets hard, he has an L.
That's amazing.
That could be a good parlor trick.
A good parlor trick.
Yeah.
Here's the suffering.
Look at my L.
What's that?
Oh, I'll give you the L.
Exactly. The suffering part comes in is that it is treatable by having an injection into your cock once a month for the rest of your life.
No.
Wow.
So only fuck when you're as hard as a rock is what you're saying here.
I mean, by all means, get it started, but before you start doing penetration or before you start doing the vigorous masturbation, absolutely make sure you're hard and ready to go.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna stick with penis for this next one because this is just too crazy for me to even fathom. So I figured you guys would love it. If I said the word necrotic tissue, what would you say?
Death boner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There is a case study out there of a man using his own wedding ring as a cock ring. Now, cock rings are fantastic in that they're usually flexible or adjustable.
Yeah.
A wedding ring is neither of those things.
No.
I also don't know how
big
big
were his
his
fingers?
fingers were or
Yes.
how small his cock was.
Yes.
That's the baffling part, number one, but let's get past that. Let's get past that misunderstanding. What happens is that he got hard, he achieved what he wanted to achieve, but because the blood vessels were so constricted, his penis actually died and he had necrotic tissue there and they couldn't get the wedding ring
Yeah, I
off.
don't want to brag, but I think my cock is about 3 of my fingers. Like, it's not even close. It's not even close. And I've not tested it with a wedding ring, but I just know. I just know.
I love dead dick. It's not even like it's not limp
Dead
dick.
dick.
This is just dead dick.
Dick just
It's really
died.
dead. Like the skin is actually flaking off at this point and it's blue and it looks gangrenous. Yeah, it's fantastic. It really is.
Fuck. That's a fucking...
No cure for that unless you actually... They can actually transplant your middle finger and turn it into your cock, but then you really could wear your wedding ring down there.
Yeah. This will just be fingering the girl at that point, right?
You be finger blasting. Finger blasting the night away.
That actually happened. Slight side note here. There is a guy out there who did have testicular cancer, which actually traveled into the penis, which is very uncommon. And his doctors actually amputated his middle finger and gave him a functioning penis out of it.
Wow.
Like how? So what? Did it still grow nails? That's the important part.
That is.
He had to clip his penis once in a while.
I just gotta clip this tip a little, baby. It's what
Or
happens.
just he pulls it out one day and he's like, ah, shit, I haven't clipped in a couple of weeks.
Let me trim this mid-digit hair.
Get a nail clipper.
I have no idea. I just watch a lot of weird documentaries.
Well, what are we on? What number is
I
that?
think we're going
So
to...
now, yeah, we're coming up on number 2.
Okay, so we're on number 2 and my dick is like gone. It's like shriveled
Yeah.
into itself at this point.
That's exactly good. I'm glad I could provide this for you. So now let's switch a little bit and talk about an allergic reaction to body fluids. And this is really weird. Have you guys, I don't have this in Canada. Do you guys have something called spicy Doritos? We just have regular and Cool Ranch.
I was going to say,
We're
yes, we
spicy,
do
but-
have all sorts of different ones.
There's like 3 or 4 different spicy Doritos. There's like
Yeah.
spicy Doritos and there's like ultra spicy Doritos, like shit like
Mega
that.
spicy.
Mega spicy. Buffalo spicy.
Okay, so have either of you ever had some of those and then, say, gone down on your girl?
No.
No.
Okay, don't. What can happen there is you can actually cause a burning of the clit and the vagina because the spices stay on your tongue and lips, and that is no bueno for down there.
Oh, no. it's
Just
a-
Doritos or like hot sauce
I was
in
going to say,
general?
like, or like
Hot
a ghost
sauce in
pepper.
general, the example that I had was spicy Doritos. That's why I brought that up. But yeah, anything spicy, anything that remains on your tongue or lips for an extended period of time
Wow.
can go down there and cause like burning is at worst. But let's talk about the allergic reaction I mentioned. I am deathly allergic to pecans. Now, I don't suck a lot of dick, so this doesn't really matter for me. But if I were to suck dick and the dude had pecans during the day,
I had a pecan
that could
sandy.
actually, when he shoots, that could actually cause me a major health problem.
Wow.
This actually is documented. A gal went to swallow, and about a half an hour later, she was she had the mumps, and she had I forget the medical term, but it's the one where you can't breathe. Asphyxiating.
Your throat closes. Yeah, asphyxiation. Wow.
Asphyxiation. Right. Because she was allergic to pineapples, but the dude went with the myth about pineapples making your sperm taste better.
Yeah.
And she, hell yeah, I'll try that. By the way, that's strictly a myth. The
Is
only
it?
way to make your sperm taste better is to hydrate more.
Cool. Cool.
All right. I have saved the weirdest for last, and this is actually a last-minute game time decision for me.
Oh, I like that.
We're gonna cover a whole bunch of just weird shit right now.
All
We
right.
all know we all know about weird insertions. Like there was the Richard Gere with the gerbil rumor. There's people getting full-on dildos and screwdrivers, everything else stuck in wherever you can possibly think of,
Action
right? Like
figures.
Dick, horse dick.
horse dick, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Debbie Does Dallas way back in the day, exactly. Here's one, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna read this pretty much verbatim because it's from my research and it's just the easiest way to explain this. And this is a roller coaster. A mother brought in her child to the ER needing immediate medical attention, except the child comes in covered in a blanket. The doctor approaches her and notices there is a dog under the blanket also. The story is the child, female, had sex with the dog. The dog is still inside the girl but cannot pull its penis out of her. So the dog has panicked and starts destroying this poor girl's back with claw marks.
Oven mitts.
More story, don't put anything that isn't supposed to be there, and I have no idea. Apparently this was an underage child.
I just remember even in science class in middle school, the rabbits having sex, like they can't pull out because their dick stays hard. Animals a lot of times, and it's fucking weird. It's fucking gross. But yeah, no bestiality. That should be
Yep.
the lesson.
And isn't there a large amount of animals that have like barbed wired penises and shit
Yes, yeah.
Yes,
Slim knows.
absolutely. No,
Slim's been to the ER for several.
too? A few times.
I don't really inspect dog dick, but I have no idea how
calls
that got
it
stuck in.
B-dubs.
That one was
He's like, I got the B-dubs again. I'm like, okay, call out of work, Slim. That's all I can tell you. Wow. On that note, happy Halloween, Crumb.
Happy Halloween, gentlemen.
Happy Halloween.
Dude, that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
fucking. That's hashtag ridic. I don't even know. I want to talk about pumpkin spice again. Fuck.
I need to have a coffee after the show.
Yeah, let's go get a latte, brother. God damn. But thank you so much, Crumb. It's been a blast. It's been an absolute pleasure, my friend. Where can everybody find you?
So the easiest place to find me is at gettingcasual.com, spelled exactly how you think, or I'm on Twitter and all the socials at Casual Crumb.
Fuck yeah, bro. And real quick, what was your favorite TMR character? Did you enjoy Dolos or did you enjoy Uncle Willie more?
Okay, so little behind the scenes thing for the listeners. I actually did 2 takes of Uncle Willie, and I liked the one that wasn't used better.
Yes, you sent them to me, and I don't know. That first Uncle Willie was more trashy, and I'm like, that's what I had in mind. I want the trashy.
And that's totally fine, but I love that. But Dolos was just so over the top, and I basically got to yell into my microphone, and I just really enjoyed him. I liked his character arc. It was a great thing to do.
That, and I want to say too, that was like one of our 3-part episodes. Like our 3-part episodes every season always come out to be one of my favorites. And that was one of my favorites from last season.
Oh, absolutely. And just reading the script, like, it's funny as hell, man. I'm sitting here because you get the script and obviously you don't get a context, right? And
Well, yeah, I
Rob's
just sent you
"Hey, man."
just your character lines.
Exactly. Hey, man, can you read these out and do a voice for me? And you're looking at it like, what the hell is this character's motivation? What do I do? Who is he? Who does he exist in? So,
And then you hear it all together, and you're like, okay, that makes sense.
now I get it, right? Now I get it. So now you know if you're doing another part, it's like, oh, I understand the motivation a little better. So yeah. I pretend I'm a pro actor.
Yeah, you are. And usually, like with you, like I usually only send people their lines. The only person I send as a full script is Ryder Doll. And there's been a few guest actors that have wanted the full script just to see the context of the scene. So there's only been 2. There's only been 2 besides Ryder that have ever gotten full scripts. So
Well, I like the surprise of it, in all honesty.
that's cool.
It comes from being a former pro wrestler for that sort of background.
That was something I had in the notes, but we never got to. But yeah, next time, Crumb, we'll definitely
Yes.
talk about the pro wrestling.
I would love to come back, gentlemen. I really would.
Fuck yeah. We would definitely have you back, my friend. Where could we already said, where are you on Twitter? At Casual Crumb?
At Casual Crumb. That's not changing. I do have at Getting Casual, but it's literally nothing. I just wanted it for backup.
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes you get your main shut down, but I don't know. Twitter is the place to be. Place to be, Crumb.
Twitter's where I've made all my connections. Like, I'm deleting my Facebook page because I just can't stand that platform anymore.
I keep it just because, like, we go on live on Facebook. But yeah, just for like guests and everything else, Twitter, Instagram's been surprisingly good too.
Now, the problem for me is that because I'm labeled adult, which is fair, I'm in the adult industry. I get shadow banned and blackballed so easily on Instagram that I just don't really care to put up with it.
Gotcha. Damn. Well, stay on the Twitter, Crumb.
Absolutely.
As will we. We'll talk to you soon, my friend.
That sounds good. You guys have a wonderful and very spooky happy Halloween to you and your listeners.
You too,
You
Crumb.
too, Crumb. Have a good one.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.
See ya.